Sisterly Love is one of my all-time favorite Full House episodes. This is the 13th episode of the first season, directed by Shamel, and this one is the Oat Boats episode. DJ has a part in a school play, and she really takes to acting, so kind of against Danny's best wishes, she auditions for an Oat Boats commercial. But unfortunately, things don't go to plan, and I'll discuss what I mean by that with kind of a spoiler warning. It's not necessarily a spoiler because it's what the main episode is about, but just in case you don't want to know exactly what happens, I will leave that for a moment. We also have a subplot involving Joey, who's got a high cholesterol. He's trying to eat healthily. I feel like it's very inspirational, and it did kind of make me want to go and eat more healthily, which is, something I always try to do, don't always succeed with. I think that Danny was the one who said it's about moderation, which is always really nice. It was a decent sub-narrative. We didn't necessarily need a detailed subplot or anything. I think it took up enough time to give us a brief break from the issues with DJ without really detracting from the main message. And there were several main messages. And the first one is that life's full of disappointments, and don't go into acting if you care about literally anything else. The same advice if you're a writer. If you can do anything else, don't become a writer. But at the same time, people who are writers by heart and by soul, the same with actors, it's what you're born to do. And DJ has to learn pretty quickly that disappointment is part of the game, as Jesse and Joey both help her to realise. And this is the first time I actually realised that all three of their parents are in entertainment. Danny obviously being a host, Jesse a musician, and Joey a comedian, which I thought was pretty interesting. Now, the other message is a potential spoiler. It's not really a spoiler, as I said, it's kind of what it's about, but I'm going to discuss what happens at DJ's audition, but I won't discuss anything else that could be a spoiler. But at DJ's audition, things are going amazingly well. I think they chose the perfect costume for DJ here as well, because she's dressed kind of casually, which is really interesting, because usually DJ wears not formal attire, but she's usually wearing clothing that I would consider to be quite high fashion for the time. But here she's dressed fashionably but casually, and it helps to give her that every kid appearance. And it's clear that she's about to get this audition. And then, while DJ's out of the room, Stephanie asks if she can eat some of the Oat Boat cereal, and she's just eating the cereal and being herself, and kind of accidentally gets the audition. And the big question there is, should Danny have let Stephanie do the audition? Well, yes, he should have done. I don't think one sibling should ever miss out on an opportunity just because they were, in theory, more suitable for it than their other sibling. But it was very difficult for DJ to face, and I completely understand. Losing out on an audition or an opportunity is hard, but when your own sister takes it from underneath you, that's going to hurt. But DJ doesn't really seem to acknowledge that it wasn't Stephanie's fault, and all she can feel is the hurt. And Jesse and Joey have to try and make her realise that it wasn't Stephanie's fault. She didn't intentionally do this. And that's a hard lesson to learn, because it's hard to put those negative feelings aside, but they do have this strong sisterly bond. Will Jesse and Joey be able to restore that? One of my favourite scenes, and one of the scenes that makes this one of my favourite episodes, is the scene with the table in the kitchen, and how that was done. I thought it was just beautifully staged, beautifully choreographed, very well filmed. The angles we had of the table and panning around it, I thought was wonderful. And the angry acting with DJ and Stephanie is not something we get that often. In fact, I might go as far as saying this is the first time we've seen both characters truly angry and fighting. They've been upset before, but I don't think they've been angry up until this point. And I think both Candace, Bure, and Jodie Sweetin gave us an absolutely fabulous performance. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. The only unbelievable bit in the entire scene is the bit with the oat boats, because they weren't inside a plastic packet inside the cereal box. There was a reason for that, as it plays out in the episode, but that was the only unbelievable bit. But I really love this episode. I love the messages in it, but I love the performances. I love the costumes, particularly DJ and Stephanie's. Stephanie's dress is absolutely adorable, and Michelle, of course, is in this too, as one of the other sisters. And DJ gives a really nice speech. Well, maybe nice isn't the right word. A very moving speech about how her sisters get a lot of the attention for being cute, and she being the older one, it's not so much. I think that's very thought provoking as well, and definitely I think something a lot of siblings, older siblings, will be able to relate to. But without question, sisterly love is absolutely one of my all-time favorite Full House episodes, including Fuller House. Absolutely adore it.